I consider myself a savvy traveler. Then a too-good-to-be-true resort deal in Egypt reduced me to that naive tourist I swore I'd never become. Standing in a luxury hotel lobby at midnight, credit card declined, confirmation email worthless, with nowhere to sleep. The worst part wasn't losing the money, it was realizing how easily sophisticated scammers had exploited my confidence. The fake booking website looked flawless. Professional design, secure checkout, instant confirmation. I'd done everything right, and still walked straight into their trap. After that humiliating Egypt experience and extensive research into how modern travel scams actually operate, I've identified 10 evolving tactics targeting experienced travelers who think they're too smart to get fooled. These aren't the obvious email scams. They're sophisticated operations designed specifically to exploit travelers' expertise against them. Scam number 1. The passport renewal website trap. When the State Department launched online passport renewal in 2024, scammers immediately created dozens of copycat sites. These aren't obviously fake pages. They're pixel-perfect replicas of the official government site, ranking high in Google searches, often appearing above the real site. My neighbor discovered this when he searched Renew Passport online and clicked the first result. The website looked identical to official government pages. Same logo, same layout, even the same color scheme. The URL was staterenewals.com instead of state.gov. But who scrutinizes URLs when everything else looks legitimate? He filled out the entire application, providing his social security number, birth date, current passport details, and credit card information. The site charged him $68 for application processing before allowing him to download the form. Only when he received the PDF did he notice generic language suggesting he still needed to submit it separately and pay again. These sites don't just steal your money, they harvest complete identity theft packages. Your passport information, social security number, financial details, all gift-wrapped for criminals who know exactly how valuable that data bundle is on dark web markets. The only reliable protection is memorizing that .gov suffix and typing government URLs directly rather than clicking search results. But this requires constant vigilance that goes against how we've been trained to use the internet. Scam number 2. The TSA pre-check application fraud. The fraud works identically to passport scams. Fake websites ranking in search results, promising to streamline your application or guarantee faster approval. My colleague Sarah searched for TSA pre-check enrollment, clicked a sponsored ad at the top of Google results, and filled out the entire application. The website looked official, used TSA logos and terminology, even included realistic wait time notifications as her application supposedly processed. She paid $189 for expedited approval and appointment scheduling, received confirmation with an appointment at a real enrollment center, and showed up only to discover the center had no record of her. The real TSA pre-check process requires zero online payment. You pay the $78 fee in person when you arrive for your appointment and fingerprinting. Any website requesting payment before your in-person appointment is automatically fraudulent, no exceptions. But scammers understand that travelers researching TSA pre-check don't know the payment process details. They exploit that information gap, creating urgency with warnings about limited appointment availability that pressure people into paying immediately. Scam number 3. The phishing email evolution. Modern travel phishing has become nearly indistinguishable from legitimate airline and hotel communications. I received what appeared to be a Delta notification 3 days before a real flight I had booked. The email used Delta's exact formatting, logo, and even my correct confirmation number. It claimed my flight time had changed by 30 minutes and included a link to review updated itinerary. The link directed to a perfect replica of Delta's website with the correct URL visible in my browser bar. I clicked through to my reservation page, which requested login credentials to view the changes. Only later did I discover the entire site was fake, operating through sophisticated redirect technology that displayed Delta's real URL while actually hosting malicious code. They captured my SkyMiles login, giving them access to my account, accumulated miles worth thousands of dollars, and enough personal information to book flights using my rewards without my knowledge. The theft wasn't discovered for weeks. What's terrifying is how they obtained my real flight details. These operations either hack airline databases or purchase customer information from data breaches, then use that legitimate data to create convincingly personalized phishing emails. The protection strategy seems obvious. Never click email links. Always navigate directly to airline websites. But when you're managing multiple upcoming trips and dealing with real flight changes, maintaining perfect vigilance becomes exhausting. Scam number 4. The fake travel visa website. International travel visa requirements create perfect conditions for sophisticated fraud because the legitimate process is already confusing and varies by country. Americans applying for visas to India, China, Brazil face genuinely complex processes through official government websites that often look unprofessional by modern design standards. My friend Rachel needed a visa for her India trip and searched India e-visa application. The top result was a beautifully designed website claiming to be the official India Visa Processing Center with customer service chat, step-by-step guidance, and promises of application review. She paid $198 for what she thought was visa processing, received a professional-looking confirmation email with a visa number, and didn't discover the fraud until she arrived at Mumbai airport and was detained for traveling with a fake visa. The visa number was invented, the confirmation worthless. The variation targeting Americans around ETIAS, the European visa system that keeps getting delayed, has become particularly effective. Scammers create urgency, claiming Americans need this visa immediately for European travel, despite implementation being postponed repeatedly. Distinguishing legitimate third-party visa services from scams has become nearly impossible. The only safe approach is using official government websites directly, which requires extensive research to even identify correctly. Scam number 5. The airline ticket fraud catastrophe. Fake airline tickets represent the most financially devastating travel scam, often not discovered until you're standing at the airport unable to board. The heartbreaking case of Joanne illustrates how sophisticated these operations have become. After missing her flight to her husband's funeral due to a medical emergency, she searched Allegiant Airlines customer service and called a number from what appeared to be Allegiant's website. The scammer answering claimed to be an Allegiant agent, accessed her real flight details through previous data breaches, and sold her a $2,000 ticket with a legitimate-looking boarding pass. She passed through airport security without issues. TSA doesn't verify ticket validity, only identity. Only at the gate, when her boarding pass wouldn't scan, did she discover the fraud. Her luggage was already on the plane, but she was denied boarding. She missed her husband's funeral because a scammer sold her a worthless piece of paper that looked exactly like a real ticket. Scam number 6. The hotel booking nightmare. My Egypt disaster came from a fake booking website so convincing that I still feel embarrassed explaining how thoroughly it fooled me. I was searching for Red Sea resorts and found an incredible deal. 5-star property, all-inclusive, 40% below any other price. The website looked like Expedia or Booking.com with a slightly modified URL, something like ExpediaTravel.com. Professional design, customer reviews, secure checkout with all the standard payment processor logos. I booked 6 nights, paid $1,800, received instant confirmation with a reservation number and hotel contact details. I flew to Egypt, took a 3-hour taxi to the resort, walked into the lobby exhausted, and provided my confirmation number. The front desk agent looked confused, checked multiple systems, called the manager. My reservation didn't exist. The confirmation was fake. I had 2 choices: pay the resort's full rate on the spot, $400 per night instead of $300, or find alternative accommodations at midnight. I paid the $2,400 resort bill, bringing my total loss to over $4,000 for 6 nights. The silver lining was credit card fraud protection. After filing a dispute, I recovered the $1,800 fake booking charge. But I still paid double the normal rate, because I booked through a scam site rather than directly. What haunts me is how easily I fell for it. I've booked hundreds of hotels through dozens of third-party sites, yet they designed their trap specifically for experienced travelers who trust their ability to identify legitimate booking platforms. Scam number 7, the free vacation prize scheme. These scams have evolved beyond obvious email spam into sophisticated operations using legitimate-looking promotional campaigns and social media ads. The hook is always similar: free vacation, all-inclusive cruise, luxury resort stay. The catch comes in layers. First, you're told the trip is free, but you need to pay taxes and fees up front, usually $500 to $1,000. After paying, you might receive a booking confirmation that seems real. The second layer appears when you try redeeming the vacation. Blackout dates eliminate most of the year. Available dates require expensive add-ons. By the time you calculate actual costs, the prize costs more than booking directly. A colleague received notification about a free hotel stay she supposedly won from a chain where she had loyalty status. The email looked official, came from a realistic address, referenced her actual loyalty number. She paid $400 in tax fees before discovering the entire promotion was fake. The worst variation uses stolen credit cards or hacked loyalty accounts to fund real bookings sold as prizes. You might actually take the trip without realizing it was fraud-funded. Months later, when fraud is discovered, you could face legal complications. Scam number 8, the airport parking and shuttle fraud. Short-term parking at major airports costs $30 to $50 daily, creating perfect conditions for scammers offering cheaper alternatives that don't exist. These operations advertise airport parking at 50% below standard rates through professional-looking websites. You book online, pay in advance, receive confirmation with an address near the airport, and arrive to discover the parking lot doesn't exist. The shuttle variation is even worse. You book airport transportation, pay up front, receive confirmation, and wait at the pickup location. The shuttle never arrives. Your flight time approaches. You're forced to pay emergency taxi fare or miss your flight entirely. What makes these particularly effective is that legitimate discount services exist and operate similarly. Book online, pay up front, show confirmation. The scam version looks identical until you realize the service isn't coming. The only protection is using established services with extensive review histories and verified addresses you can confirm through independent sources beyond the company's website. Scam number 9, the fake customer service phone trap. When you need urgent help with flight changes, you're vulnerable to scammers who've hijacked customer service search results. This almost trapped me during a weather delay in Chicago. I needed to rebook a missed connection and searched United Airlines customer service on my phone. The top result displayed United's logo and a phone number. I called and reached someone who sounded professional, accessed my reservation details, and offered to rebook me for a $350 change fee. Something felt wrong about paying over the phone, so I hung up and called the number printed on my boarding pass instead. The real United agent told me that first number was a known scam operation. They would have charged my card, provided fake confirmation, and disappeared. I would have shown up for a flight that didn't exist. These operations pay for Google ads positioning their fake numbers above legitimate airline contact information. They train operators to sound professional and access real flight data through hacked systems, creating urgency that prevents travelers from verifying legitimacy. Scam number 10, the social media marketplace ticket sales. Facebook Marketplace and similar platforms have become hunting grounds for airline ticket scams targeting budget-conscious travelers. The recent Ontario family case illustrates how these operate. They found a seller on Facebook offering 30% discounts on Air Canada flights, claiming airline employee connections. They paid $15,000 for 10 tickets, received legitimate-looking confirmations, and discovered at the airport that 5 tickets were fraudulent. The seller had used stolen credit cards to purchase real tickets at full price, then resold them at a discount. When credit card fraud was detected, airlines canceled the tickets, leaving travelers stranded with no recourse. What makes marketplace scams particularly effective is that legitimate ticket resales do occur. People with non-refundable tickets they can't use sometimes sell them at a loss. This creates plausible cover for scammers operating in the same space. Airlines explicitly prohibit ticket resales and won't honor tickets not purchased directly from authorized sellers. Yet travelers desperate for savings convince themselves they can safely navigate this gray market, discovering only at airports that the savings weren't worth the risk. The lesson from my Egypt hotel disaster isn't that I was stupid or careless. It's that modern travel scams are specifically designed to exploit the expertise and confidence of experienced travelers. They succeed because they look more legitimate than many real services and target the exact psychological vulnerabilities sophisticated travelers don't think they have. What travel scams have you encountered or fallen for? Have you developed verification strategies that actually work in real travel situations? Share your experiences in the comments. These stories help other travelers recognize warning signs before it's too late. If this helped you identify scam patterns you might have missed, hit that like button and subscribe to Journey Tips for more insights that protect your money and your trips. Share this with anyone planning travel. These scams are too sophisticated for most travelers to spot alone. Thanks for traveling smarter with Journey Tips. Safe travels, and I'll see you on the next one.